Will Mallory had a heck of a debut for the Indianapolis Colts in Houston. He had a couple of catches, 40-plus yards, a chunk play, looked really good, was able to secure the ball when he was open, was able to get some positive yak. He looks like a guy who may have been a bargain with a fifth-round pick that was acquired very, very quietly by Chris Ballard in exchange for Nyheim Hines. Colts got Zach Moss too, but that fifth-round pick turns into Will Mallory. Mallory might be the bargain of that trade. We spent some time yesterday on Zoom talking to Will Mallory about the catch and about just how he feels about his debut for the Colts.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, obviously it's been, with the injury back in OTAs and whatnot, it was a tough couple months of just, trying to make the team and, trying to find a role. And so just was fortunate with the opportunity to get out there. And, it was a lot of fun getting a W with the team. Was great. Love that. And so just got to keep building on that and, keep improving my game.
Well, can you take us through the 43-yard catch and maybe what you saw on the play, maybe how long the ball took to get to you? I don't know if that's the mindset on that type of play, but also to piggyback off of that, just the reaction from your family, friends back home.
Yeah. I felt kind of like the defense kind of blew the coverage there, saw that corner sit, and I was like, oh man, I might get an opportunity here. And then, like you said, it felt like it was in slow motion, and the ball was in the air for a while. It seemed like for me, I'm just waiting, like, all right, I got to catch this and try and make something happen. So, it all was, it happened in like slow motion, but then I kind of blanked out. Like it was just kind of one of those, first play things. So, but it was cool. Yeah. And then, my family, just happy that I was out there and, making a play. So I was just fortunate for the opportunity.
Just one quick follow-up. What was the mindset going into your first game? Like, you're going to play, or at least you're available to play, and just maybe that deep breath and that sigh of relief of having some success and knowing, I guess, officially I'm in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. With some of our tight ends down and whatnot, I knew I had an opportunity to get in there and play. And, I didn't know exactly how many plays it was going to be or whatever. And it was just, hey, whenever I get my moment, try and make the most of it. And, it was just a cool opportunity to get in there. And, once you get in there, you kind of take that deep breath and, all right, hey, this is football. I've been doing this my whole life, and it's obviously the highest level, but, like, hey, this is a cool moment. Enjoy it, soak it in.
Hey, Will, when you make that catch and you're running down the right sideline and you've got a defensive player coming toward you, how do you make the decision what you're going to do, whether you're going to lower your shoulder into him, stiff arm, try to outrun him? What's that process like?
Yeah, for me, for that being my first catch and whatnot, I was like, hey, get the yard, secure the ball, and let's get the next play going. I thought, I'm looking back at it, hey, maybe should I have cut back or do whatever? And I'm happy with my decision, get the yards and let's play the next play.
Well, a lot of times you see in Major League Baseball, guys have their first hit and they throw the ball in the dugout so they can keep it. I don't suppose you got a chance to keep that first football, because you just never know.
No. Yeah, no. If it was a touchdown, then for sure, but no. Yeah. No.
Just curious.
Yeah.
What's the vibe like for you, if nothing else, but the locker room, just for that guy and Ryan Kelly, actually for both of them, but for you specifically because of the draft thing, for Anthony to go down like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, having a player like him down for that part of the game, is unfortunate because he's a great player and he makes stuff happen, as you guys have seen. But yeah, I mean, just like football at any level, if something unfortunate like that happens, it's the next man up, and everyone here is prepared accordingly to be able to play at any moment. And I know a guy like Gardner, he prepares just as hard as anyone, if not more. He's a coach on the field, and he's a playmaker. So everyone on this team prepares to be able to play at any moment. And so when their number gets called, they're going to make the plays.
That's Will Mallory. What a likable guy this is, right? Say what you will about Chris Ballard and his ability to put together a roster, but you cannot question the fact that he's got a bunch of really good people on that roster who we enjoy listening to. We don't enjoy watching all of them play, especially when the Colts lose, but listening to them, really, really good. And Will Mallory, I think, you know what? He's got speed. He's got hands. He's got an ability to get open. He's got a lot of tools that the Colts, I think, are going to figure out a way in several ways to utilize. That's Shane Steichen's job. They've got to get great play out of one tight end rather than mediocre play out of a bunch of tight ends. That's one of the challenges that I think Shane Steichen might be able to solve through the utilization of Will Mallory.